Good morning, dear devotees and friends. Today is a very special day because we are remembering the birth of a great soul, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, a few days before, we have observed all the Hindu society all over. They have observed this Dol Yatra, and that was the day when the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he advented, and we believe that God came in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So today we will try to remember his wonderful contribution. Before that, let us chant the name of the Vishnu, who is the founder of the Vaishnava Sampradaya. Yashya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate namastasmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that when one gets the attention of many, that means the power of God is manifesting through him. Maybe he's a singer, a dancer, a very good writer, a poet, in whatever form, in whatever way, the power is manifesting, and thousands of people, human beings, appreciating him, going to him. That means that particular person is a blessed one, and through him, the power of God is manifesting. Power of God manifests, but if we are not utilizing that in a proper way, that means to help others, then that takes us back again. That is the karma that goes in this way. For some good karma, we get the blessings of God, and when we get the blessings of God, we get some attention in this world, and we forget that it is the blessings of God, and we think that it is mind power, and naturally, again, it goes back. So, this way, the God's grace goes, and when we find that thousands, not only thousands, millions of people for centuries after centuries worshipping a person, he is not an ordinary one. He is the God himself. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's the God himself. And it is 1891, 891 Shan. The Shan is the year they used to count in that way. And then 1407 Shakabda. And that now the present 1485 Krishtabda, that means this after the Jesus Christ. So that is the count. That was the time a social and religious courses uh, for the good of the humanity, the power of God manifested in a family. The name of the father was Jagannath Misra and the mother Shachi Devi. It was in Bengal on the bank of the Ganga. And in Nadia, he said, it was born. Now, when we talk like this, the doubt comes. How come the God can take the form of human being? Then obviously we have to think also in this way, the God is all powerful. And God can do anything that God wants to do. If not, then God is not all powerful. Almost all the religions, they say God is all powerful. Then obviously we have to accept this also, that God can do anything he likes because all powerful. So God is taking the human form. Why? In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna, he gave the answer to this question. Sthapukaya cha dharmasya. And in the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he say, to re-establish the righteousness. And what is dharma? According to the Hindu thought, the dharma means to understand our own nature. That is the dharma. We have to find out who am I. And for that, whatever we do is the dharma. And then, of course, for the day to day life and the social life, the dharma, the word dharma, has been defined in many, many different ways. We say that whatever the responsibility that you have accepted, that is your dharma. Whatever the quality that you are having, particularly for the objects, that is its dharma, like the fire burning, the water cooling. So that is the dharma. So dharma word has been used for many, many things. But when we talk that to protect the dharma, that is a complete different thing. And this dharma cannot be translated into the English word religion. The religion means there's a list of do's and don'ts. So you should do this and you should not do that. So slowly the human mind gets trained up. As we go to the school, we get a routine. We can study in our home study they say. But when you go to the school, they give a routine first. And this is the routine you have to follow. This is the time you must come. This is the way you should go to the class. And these are the things that you should learn. And slowly, so that has been developed after long research. So that a child, slowly, we can say a baby almost, going to the school and started learning how to sit, how to stand, how to behave, how to, all those things. The religion, when you use the word religion, it is almost like the same. All faiths, they are having religion. So yesterday, when I went to our home of harmony, the two neighboring ladies, they came, and one of them, they were asking, what is your religion? We don't see any function. Every Saturday we are having that. And that is our religion. Every Saturday we are inviting other faiths leaders, and they are expressing their views so that we can understand them, we can love them, know and love. So that is our religion. What is that religion? We believe by that way we can bring fraternity, brotherhood, peace among divergent people, different type of people. Though they are different, but if they can understand the other person is also just like me, only his feature is different, language is different, culture may be a little different, food habit may be different, but he's just like me. This much if we understand, no conflict at all. So this is our religion. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna propagated, so we follow that. This is our basis, the Sarva Dharma Samannaya. Now here, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, his father Jagannath Mishra was a Pandit. What is the word Pandit? A Sanskrit scholar. The Sanskrit scholar used to study the Sanskrit and they used to explain many things. And that is the way they used to learn. And particularly at that time, there was a subject is to study, and that is called the understanding the reality. You must have to go through different type of experiments. And that should be through the conversation, dialogue. And then you will understand. So these are the very difficult things they used to do. But Shankaracharya said, why you are doing all those things and spending whole life on that? Nahi nahi rakshati dukkring karane. That is the word Shankara used. But you cannot be saved by doing all these grammatical things. But what we should do? We should try to understand who is my creator. That is the main thing. If you understand who is the creator, and then you will know out of what you are being created, how the God has created you, with what. And obviously the relation between God and me. Now, this particular question has been answered by so many different schools. This Jagannath Mishra, the father of Nimai, and his mother Shachi Devi, is always, it says, very, very pious lady and a very religious father. Why? Otherwise, God won't come to them. God comes to them, God chose them because of their nature. We have seen the same thing in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. In the life of Lord Jesus, Lord Buddha, all these we will find the parents, the father and the mother, are very religious type of person. And that is the reason, very good people. That is the reason that God chose them and become their son. And he was manifested, and his name was Vishambara. Vishambara, the sustainer of the world. Vishya is the word, and he is holding them. So Vishambara. He was also known as, very famous as, Nimai Pandit again. He was a very scholar. He had his own school. He used to teach the Sanskrit, grammar particularly. So he was very famous in that. So he became Pandit, the Nimai Pandit. And it's because his complexion was very fair, so he's the Gauranga. Gaura means white almost complexion, Anga, the body. So Gauranga. And along with the Gauranga, Mahaprabhu. If you go to the Vaishnava cult, they will say Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nimai Pandit. And another name that he is very famous, Chaitanya Bharati, because he took the sannyasa and he became one of the 10 schools, the Tsunami Sampradaya, and one Sampradaya is called Bharati, the Chaitanya Bharati, the famous Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We also belong, the Ramakrishna Mission monks also belong to 10, that Sampradaya, the Tsunami Sampradaya. It was made by the Shankaracharya. So ours is different. We are Puri Sampradaya. And they are Bharati, Puri, Bharati, Giri. These are all different. So they are Bharatis. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the founder of the Bengal school of Vaishnavism, known as the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Sampradaya is the school. Gaudiya means Bengal. In those days, Gouda was the capital of the whole Bengal. And Bengal means Banga, Bihar, Odisha. So all three. Afterwards it became, but Odisha at that time, at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was a different state, ruled by a Hindu king. Now, why I mention this Hindu king? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was there in Bengal, it was under the control of the Muslim kings. The natural religion was different. When the king's religion is different, so we have to understand it is a king. It's not a democratic society or democratic country. So whatever may be the religion of the president, it doesn't matter for the subjects, for the people or the citizens. But it is not like that. The religion of the king is naturally influence the subjects also. Those who belong to the religion of the king, they try to take all benefits. The king may be saying, oh, okay, and they will immediately, 100% they will go and grab. It goes, and they're always in the society. We will come to that afterwards, maybe. But here in India, which is also known as Bharatvarsha, and Hindustan is known as the Deva Bhumi, is a land, the blessed land or a holy land. They are very peculiar. In our Constitution of India, the two names have been used. The same country, two names. India, that is Bharat. The India, at the same time, it is Bharat. The name India came from the Greeks, because the Greeks used to call it Indi, their pronunciation. From that, India. And Hindustan came from the Parsis. They could not pronounce the river Sindhu, so it became Hindu in their pronunciation. Sa became Ha. The Sindhu became Hindu, the river, and the whole land became known as Sthan. Sthan means the place, so Hindustan. Is this Parshi is the game. But Bharatavarsha, that is the name actually of this place. Why? We are the descendant of the king Bharata. And there is a big story, and the people they believe in that way that the Bharata was a very famous king and very powerful. His father was a king, but the mother was a sannyasini type, and she grew up in an ashrama. So they are son. So he was having both Raja and Rishi, these two qualities. The Bharata, he was having both the qualities, Raja and the Rishi. So this is a story, a very, very fascinating story. If you like, you can read that, the life of Bharata. And from that, Bharat Varsha. Varsha means those who reside over there, his descendants. And that is the way it continued, the Bharatvarsha. This is called Deva Bhumi, is a blessed place. Why? Because here, whatever may be the reason, because of the geographical situation, always there is good rain and the land is fertile, then obviously there is no problem for food. Swami Vivekananda mentioned before these rulers came, particularly the Britishers, there's no scarcity of food in whole India. All people used to get sufficient food. For each and everyone was having sufficient food. So obviously, what they will do when the food was available, the kings and the rulers were very good. There was no fighting among them. Only sometimes there will be some sports and all those things, but otherwise, they were all very good rulers, just rulers. Why? Religion. Because the society used to say, you cannot do that. You are a ruler, but you are a human being. You have your own future. Suppose you are not doing proper work, what will happen to you? You will go to hell. So these are the things. The rulers were also very, very righteous people. And not only that, many of them, they were scholars on Veda. So now, think of the situation as a whole country and different rulers are there. It's a huge country. India is a very vast. Obviously, different places, different type of culture grew up because of the weather, because of things. Food habits changed, clothing changed, language changed, but religion was same. Thoughts were the same. This is very peculiar, very, very special. I don't know how, but they all accepted Veda. Right from the Assam, at the far end in the eastern side, and the Gujarat, the western side, Kashmir in the northern side, and the Kerala, that is the southern side, all they accepted Veda. How? I don't know. But that was the main binding force. Though their language was different, everything was different, the features different. If you go to northern side, different type of feature. Indians, very tall, very fair complex. If you go to south, a different type of feature. So naturally, but why this unity? Because of the Veda. Because of the Veda said, it is the karma that decides whether you will be happy or not. So be very, very careful. Only one teaching of the Veda made everyone sober. All of them started behaving very according to their own standard. What the king should do, what the ministers should do, teachers should do, everything was defined. The Dharma Shastras were there. So this is a beautiful, nice society. And what they will do? They started researching about happiness. Because all these things were there. Still, they were not happy. They were having sufficient food, sufficient wealth, and all the jewelries you cannot imagine. And all this, the Kohinoor, that you know, very famous, it was from India. It all was available. But even then, they were not happy. So they started researching. I am having money, I am having gold, I am having food, I am having name, fame, physical power, but still I am not happy. Why? That made them philosophical. And this philosophy, and beginning, they slowly, they solved this problem. And they answered the three questions. Who is our creator? They got the answer. Second, why he has created us. And third, how he has created us. Fourth, what are the purpose of our life? So these are the four questions. That was the main thing. People started searching for the reply and they found it. And those who found the reply, they are known as rishis. Rishi, the sages. The 24 hours they used to think on that, research on that. It is not the research that we nowadays we do in the laboratory. It was in the nature they used to go. They used to sit under a tree or by the side of a river or the ocean or on the mountain, and they will be searching everything. Can I get happiness, permanent happiness from this, from this, from this, from this? And they could not find, no. Then finally they found, if I can control my desire, then there is no suffering. Why I suffer? Because my desire. And if there is no desire, then I am not suffering. So how they came to that? Then where from the desire comes? They found out because of our sense organs, the five sense organs. They are bringing different information from the outside. The eye is bringing the information. The ear is bringing information. The nose and the tongue and the touch. The chakshu, karna, nashika, jiva, tak. These are the five. They are going and enjoying the five objects of the outside world and bringing the information and sometimes making me happy, sometimes I'm suffering. Then what to do? They close those things. Pratyahara, I am not going to eat. Ahara means aharana, collection. So I am not going to collect this information anymore. So they developed meditation. Meditation means going inside, and then slowly they came out with the reply. Now to apply that into the society and to explain that truth, that again different schools came. And mainly three different schools came. One is Vedanta, one is Tantra, another is Vaishnava. And this Vaishnava that we are now today, we are discussing, then who is our creator? They said Vishnu. Vishnu is our creator. All Vaishnavas, they say Vishnu. What is the meaning of the Vishnu? All pervading one. All pervading one, and he is the Vishnu. And why he has created? It's a sport for him. Just he wanted to have some, he was all alone, Lord Vishnu. I am all alone, let me create this world. And then he just thought, and the creation came. And how he created? Because in the creation, two things are necessary. One is the intelligent cause and the material cause. Both is he. Because there is no anything else. And what is the purpose of our life? Going back to the source. That is the purpose of our life. If you read the same thing Lord Buddha is also mentioning. This world is full of misery because the desire is unsatisfied. Once you are having this and then again, you want to grab everything, then naturally what to do? I want that place for me. I want that place for me. I am having the power. I can then go on saying. Then naturally the action and reaction and the conflict, all these things will come. And suppose you are successful, you are happy. Suppose you are not, you are unhappy. It goes on the round way. So they say, no, we have to go back to the source. And what is that source? Vishnu. Source is the Vishnu. And what is that Vishnu? Full of happiness. Why? Because Eka Rasa. Rasa means he is only one substance. There is no two. Whenever there is two, there is a conflict. One young man, he was in his house, he was happy. After returning back from the work, he used to throw his shoes, he used to throw his shirt. Now, after his marriage, his wife said, see, these are all the, the very peculiar way you behave. No, it is not. Shoe has to keep over there. Now, the freedom gun, I cannot. Then you cannot throw your shirt. No, you have to hang it over here. Then you have to. Then somebody started dictating you, and you have to adjust because you have accepted. So the freedom gun. So that is the way it always goes. Then what to do? So I have to understand that I am completely free, but not in this worldly way, but in our spirituality. So this slowly, slowly they developed. Many great minds for many years they researched and they came out with the three Vedantism, Tantra, and Vaishnavism. These three different beliefs have three common ideals. Now, again, the India, the three different schools were three things common. What are the common thing? One, the spiritual integrity of the individuals with the Supreme, everyone accepted. Vedanta, Tantra, and Vaishnava. I must go and merge with my God. Otherwise, I cannot be happy. My eternal happiness, happy, always we are. For some little things here and there, we are happy. But that is not the happiness. Eternal happiness. And how that is possible? When I know that I'm not going to die. When I know that I am happy because I have become the king of the whole world. But again, I know I am going to die after some time. Then what will happen? So that fear is there of death. So no, I should be eternal. And how it is possible? When I merge with my Creator, the God. Because God is eternal. I merge with that, I am also eternal. When I am a drop of water, any time the sun ray may dry me or something happened to me, I will lost my identity. But if I become ocean, by mixing with that ocean, I become the ocean. No power under the sun can dry me. So that is the way I become the one. So that spiritual identity of the individuals with the Supreme Self, Jiva, Brahma, Ekatta, that all these three schools, they accept it. Second, spiritual and all the thoughts of the deeds of karma phala. Fruits are there, spiritual fruits. What is that? Because of your thought, because of your action, naturally reaction is coming. So it is the karma. Suppose somebody is there and I wave a fan over here. He couldn't notice that I'm waving the fan. But the person gets the cool breeze. Oh, it's a cool breeze. Why suddenly the breeze is coming? The air is coming. There is an action. And the result is that. So obviously, we have to understand each and everything that happens in our life because some action somewhere we did. This life, I didn't harm anyone. How come that I'm suffering then? They say, no, not this life. You have previous lives also. And you have to accept that because that is the only way we can get the answer. Now, the karma phala. And along with the karma phala, it says determine the rebirths, births and rebirths that determine the karma phala. So karma phala, janmantarvada, and the ekatta of the God and the jiva, these are the three common things in all the three schools. Vedanta, Tantra, Vaishnava. These three schools, all they accept, I am going to merge with my source. They term the source in a different way, that is different. But why I am separate? Because of my karma phala. And why this karma phala? I didn't do anything wrong in this life, but the past life. So this goes in this way. Now there are 5 schools of the Vaishnavism. The Vaishnavism, it is a very ancient concept. Not that the Ramanuja started it. It's a very ancient concept because of the Vishnu and they were there. But it started with this, the relation between the Jiva and the Brahman, and this relation between the creator and the creation, this question was answered by different way. So it became 3 different schools. No, this is nothing wrong. When the people they come to me, when they're asking, Swamiji, can you teach me the yoga? And of course I can. Whatever the way I know, I can teach you. But I have practiced meditation through concentrating over here in between the 2 eyebrow. I told no, we should not advise to practice that because Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Ma Sharadamani Devi, they have said it is better to concentrate on the heart. Now, this is the difference. Somebody said you can concentrate over here. Somebody said you can concentrate on the top. Concentration, that advises, but the place is changing. And we believe, because Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, whenever we are meditating, the blood is rushing to that particular place. And if you are meditating on the top of the head, the mind becomes immediately very calm. But when the rushing of the blood, that may damage the brain cells if you are not careful about it. And similarly, when you are meditating over here, result is immediate. That's why those who are sailing the meditation, I can teach you meditation, but against you have to give $50 per hour. So that they will naturally, they say, they don't bother about the effect that will come on that person because it is the business. But when we say, the first consideration is the person should not be hard. So we say, no, practice over here. So when you are practicing, how you will practice, etc., etc. So what I like to say by giving this example, why different schools? Explanation, that's all, and nothing else. So many religions, why? Because they explained in their own way. Jesus said the God as a father. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said the God as mother. What is the problem? Because he loved mother, so he said, God is my mother. And Jesus said, God is my father. This only term, but the same God full of love. So these 5 schools, the Vaishnava, the fast, the tradition is say, the Vishnu, that is the Vistara. In the 10th century, Natha Muni, this Natha Munis, they spreaded this particular thing. The Vishnu, that is all over the consciousness, but it can be thought as a person. So that Natha Munis, they started this Vaishnavism in 10th century, but it was developed in the same school, and one person came, this is Ramanuja Acharya, he was from the 1027 to 1118. It says long 91 years he lived, and he gave a prominent shape in the Vaishnavism. So they always remember Vaishnavism means Ramanuja. But the Ramanuja gave a prominent shape because of his longevity. He was long. But he took first teaching from Advaita Vedanta. And in Advaita Vedanta, they always say that no, God is not there. If you go to the pure Advaita, they say, I don't believe in God. And Ramakrishna Mission is a mixture of all this. If you go to Himalaya, we have an ashrama. And of course, now I have heard they have developed wonderful guest houses that some people may go there. And there is no temple. There is no shrine. Why? We practice Advaita. I joined in there. I joined in there and I spent 12 years on that. So naturally, no kind of puja or anything. My friend, the others, the Tyagananda ji and the Kripamayananda ji, so they joined in the centers, Ramakrishna Mission centers, where the temples were there. As a young novices, they learned puja. I joined in Advaita Ashrama at the same time, in the Ramakrishna Mission Center. But because it is Advaita Ashrama, there was no temple, no question of puja. You cannot talk about puja. Not only that, you cannot give Jayat Dhani also. Usually, when you go, when we are leaving, usually people they stand and say Jai Sri Ramakrishna, Jai Ma Sharada, Durga, Durga. You are not supposed to say that. So at least in that boundary, you have to go out and then whatever you like to say, you can say. As a member of the Advaita Ashrama, you are not supposed to think in a duality way. You have to see God in every being. You have to see God within yourself. Don't think about the duality. It is only one, eka rasa. Very difficult practice. You have to go on studying and no question of this, the love and the bhajans and all that. Nothing. One of our Swamiji, he was posted over there, but he was a thorough and thorough Dvaitin. So what to do? So he used to take his God, is that photo, and he will walk almost a mile or so to go beyond that ashrama, that boundary. After crossing the boundary, he will sit under a tree, then place his photo, Thakur Mahar Swamiji, and he will give flower over there. He will do evening arat song, Khandana Bhava Bandhana. Then he will come back. Every evening he used to do. Why? He said, see, they have posted me over here, but I cannot leave without singing this song. This is my nature. Right from the childhood, I am doing it. So please allow me. So this is the conflict. But Swami Vivekananda said, why? You have to see God in all being. God, without that consciousness, nothing is there. Practice pure Advaita Vedanta. At the same time, the Swami Vivekananda, he constructed the temple in Belur Math and said, all people cannot do that. Okay, now you go and worship. So, duality. And many, they cannot practice duality or non-duality. For them, the karma, go and serve the people. So like this, all the four paths were accepted. Here we find that after the Nathamuni, the Ramanuja, who first accepted a guru from the Advaita, but he was not satisfied. So deviated from that, he started another school. But in the beginning, he was having Advaita idea. So Vishishta Advaita, the qualified monism. And what is that qualified monism? That's Ramanujacharya. He hold the idea the absolute is not a non-attributive principle. Because Advaita Vedanta says no quality is there. Oh, he is kind, he is loving. The moment you say like that, you are attributing that consciousness. You cannot do that. But Ramanuja says, no, he must be having. You know why? Then he said, when before creation, he is one and absolute. But after the creation, the same thing become duality. So this is monism, but qualified, spatial. So he developed the qualified monism, and that was his school, the Vishishta Advaita Bhada. Friends, I have already told you, but just as a reminder, in this coming September, I think 12, 13, 14, that weekend, there will be a program that devotees from Alabama, they're organizing it in the Huntsville. That is the town. They are organizing 12, 13, 14 September. Complete Advaita will be discussed. Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Advaita. And I added Samannaya Bhada of Sri Ramakrishna. I told her that is also Vedanta, but Samannaya. So all our Swamis, the group they have made, three Swami and one Mataji, so four groups, they'll be speaking on Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, and Dvaita. I think it will be very interesting study. Maybe that it will be too much of that's the learning, the book learning like that is not a lecture. So obviously, those who are interested to know the complete Vedanta, that will be a good place to attain and learn. Another Vishishtadvaitavada of the Ramanuja, his Srinivasa, it is his God. And the Ramanuja said, the God with the Lakshmi, the God has no form, but because of the Lakshmi, it is. That's why when you see the people, they're having two marks of, like this on their forehead, and in the center there is a red mark. That is Ramanuja, Vishishta Advaita. So the two, and in between only one. The one has become two. So that is the Vishishta Advaita. Now, 1197 to 1276 was the period of Madhva Acharya. He is also Acharya as a teacher. His name was Madhva. He said pure duality. No, it is not possible. God is pure. He has created us out of his compassion. But we have no comparison with God. We cannot go become God. It is a blasphemy to think in that way. Majority of the schools, of the religions, they think in this way, duality. And this is called pure duality. And they will go and pray to God. Maybe sometimes out of compassion, God will say, okay, come and sit near me. Or leave with me over here. So, Salukko, Saruppo, Sayajya, all these things are there, but depends on the God's grace. So that was the Dvaitavad. Another came, and his God is Ramapati. His God is the Ramapati. And Nimbarka is the 11th century. He propagated Vaishnavism and he chose the Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlava. That is his. If you can say the Vasudeva, the Krishna, then he's also duality, he's also Vaishnava, but of the Vaishnava it is Vasudeva. Then came Vallabha Acharya. It is almost the same time of the Chaitanya. Is 1475 to 1531, and he is a philosophical monism, but not of Shankaracharya. Is a different way, and his chosen God is Bala Gopala. The Shankara, he said, why we are different? Because of Maya. You are not different. You are not at all different. But you are thinking that you are different. That's all. Why I am thinking? That is the power of God. That is the Maya. It's a delusion. And he gave, on the basis of the Maya, all explanation. Actually, there was no creation at all. You are imagining the creation. And then you are suffering because of your imagination. Oh, he was my friend. Now he is not my friend. You are imagining and you are either enjoying or suffering. That is your. Nothing has happened. Everything is as it is. So that is pure Advaita of Shankara. He said, Vallabhacharya said, no. It is true that God has created us, but the problem is we have forgotten that God has created us. It is not the Maya. We have forgotten. And because we have forgotten, we are suffering. We have to go back. How? We have to worship Bala Gopala. See, all these, they are worshipping Vishnu, but different form. And here the Bala Gopala. Ramanuja, it is the Vishnu with Lakshmi. It's because all the creation you need, the wealth, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. And then another one is different. He says Ramapati. Then it says Vasudeva. Vallabhacharya says Balagopala. Now come Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but time is also over, almost, to reach to Chaitanya. But anyway, the Chaitanya Deva is 1485. They almost the same time, 1475 and it's 1485, 10 years difference. But almost he was in the south and he is in the eastern part of India, Chaitanya Deva. But Chaitanya's situation and the Vallava's situation was different. In the southern part of India, the Muslim aggression was not there. The eastern part of India, the Muslim reached because that was a flourishing state. You know, that they came to Delhi and captured Delhi in the 11th century. And they, in the next century, in the 12th century, they reached Bengal. They didn't go to south or north or east or west. Because of all the places in India, Bengal was a very, very flourishing state. A lot of money. So obviously, naturally, they have come to enjoy and they need money. Where they will go? Where the money sources are there, the straight came to Bengal. They fought with the Bengal king, the Lakshman Dev and his son, and then afterwards they drove them out because they were very ferocious fighters, the Muslims. And the Indians were not that way. They could not fight. And so small groups, obviously, they were defeated. And Sultan Alauddin Hussain Shah, he was the ruler at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started this? He was a sannyasin of the Dashanami Sampradaya, Bharati. He took the sannyasa. Then he went naturally, all sannyasins, we also went. They go to different holy places to learn from there, to imbibe the blessings from there, like this. This is a natural norm. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also went over there. And afterwards, he found that we have to save our own people and we have to change the process of our religion practices. So he came back and he started the Nama Shankirtana. Nama, name of the God, and Shankirtana means song. And they should be, usually what we do when you give the initiation, we always say, don't utter it loudly. You should remember it within. But if you ask these people, that was not the time. Moreover, hundreds and thousands, they were getting converted into Islam because the so-called the Brahmin caste, they were not accepting them properly. The low caste people who used to work as the laborers, as the boatmen and the cultivators, all these people. The Muslim, they said, hey, we don't have any differences. We are all brothers. We eat from the same plate. Even the king and me can eat from the same plate. Muslim brotherhood. So, why don't you become a Muslim? So they thought, why not? First, if we are converted, we get the all support of the rulers, protected by the rulers. Only what? For a poor man, it is the bread, not the God, that matters. So obviously, in thousands they were converted. In Bengal and other places, all the Muslims that we see now, they were all converted people, where from originally they were not there. They are all Hindus. But it was the mistake of the then so-called high society Hindus and of course the weakness of our rulers, thousands that were converted. But whatever, that is the history. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he thought we have to save this wonderful religion that is Hinduism. So how to save this? So he planned that it should be, and the singing should be the main. So the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna and Rama, they are two famous avatars. Almost all they accept them, either Rama or Krishna. Wherever you go, any Hindu, these two they are accepted. Either Krishna is favor or Rama is favor, like that. But Krishna and Rama, so he composed Rama and Krishna, so all can accept it. And what is the hara? The prayer. Please save me by taking away all my weaknesses. And how you sing? By dancing. Not sitting in one place. You should dance and sing. And when you are dancing, what happened? You forget the other things. That when you are dancing and then you are jumping and clapping, you forget the other things. By that way, your mind comes within. Look at it, how he calculated. If you ask a person to sit and meditate, it is not possible for him. Because of the social condition, it is all constantly changing. There's a Muslim aggression, anytime, anything may happen. The people were really, really in trouble, and there was no one to protect them. So these thoughts gave them the protection. And he was a great reformist by that way. Usually, the Hindus, they say that one should first take the name of Vishnu by sipping the water, purifying the body, change the clothes before meditation, and then one seat should be only used for meditation. One place should be kept for God, and nothing should be done over there. That should be the shrine or the temple and the holy spot where you should meditate. There was no time. Situation was different. You cannot ask people to purify by drinking Ganga water. So don't care about it. And then the mridanga and all those things, they started playing, and it became a very attractive, and thousands of people started joining. And when a big group is doing that together, not only their own presence help each other, and the ruler also thought, oh my God, so many people they are doing, we cannot touch them. It is better to avoid. Let them do whatever they like. That was his planning. But if you notice, he never stayed in the Bengal because he knew that he would be arrested. Maybe. So that's why he went to another state, that is Odisha, which was ruled by a Hindu king. So naturally, the Muslim armies or the police cannot go and arrest them. So that was the situation. But he developed a group of people, they're called Rai Ramananda and Sharupa, Damodara, Sanatana, Rupa Goswami. And he taught them how to reach out to people, how to understand them, and then give this very simple method. First. Second, no differences between a Brahmin and non-Brahmin, no casteism. Just like the Muslims, they were offering that we are casteless, we are all brothers. Vaishnava also should do that. And third, don't go in confrontation with the rulers because you are not ready to do that. You won't be able to. So he said, you must become very, very humble. According to the situation, you must be humble. You cannot protect yourself. So become humble. Trinadopi suni chena, tayoriva shahisnuta, etc. He said, like the grasses. When the people are walking on that, the grasses said nothing. But when they go out, again the grass becomes its own. Wait and wait and wait. When the situation will change, you can also show your might. But at this moment, you should not. And you should be like the trees. When the people are coming and cutting the trees, at the same time, the trees also. So both ways, in the social and spiritual development will be there. So it's a great revolutionary. Transforming the whole society by that way. The society which was caste ridden, which never even touched the shadow of the so-called lower caste. What is the lower caste? He is working in my home, sweeping the floor or doing that. Oh, I am a Brahmin. I only study and do japa. So I am the holier than thou. Your shadow, if falls on me, I have to go and take bath. That was the mentality. So he changed it. And how he changed? You have to eat from one plate. So you need not to distribute food and separately. Keep one big place, keep the whole food, all will come and take from that. So that means the touches, they will forget. Why? In the name of Krishna. So he developed Radha Krishna. and his god is Radha Krishna. Like the other Vaishnavas, he also introduced, but he was not a Vaishnava in that way. He was a Vedantin. But used the Vaishnava sect to unify the whole society and to restrain because of the onslaught of the other religious thoughts. So he forced them to do that. So this became, and the present day, when the people will all go and they see the wonderful places of the Brindavan, Mathura, where the Krishna is a historical figure. It is no doubt about Rama. Rama may be, some people they doubt, but Krishna has no doubt, is a historical figure. He was there. But where Krishna was, but because after the Krishna left with the whole group, he went from there, from the north, he went to the extreme west, to Gujarat, and stayed over there. And naturally, that was destroyed by his enemies. And nothing was left. After so many hundreds of years, all this big jungle, nothing was there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said he gave some special power to his disciples, spiritual power. You go to this jungle, and that jungle, if you go, it is not the jungle of normal, natural like this. Thorny trees are there, plants are there, so difficult to walk. But these people, the Sarupa, Damodara, Rupa, Sanatana, they all went over there and slowly found out the places where Krishna was born. When they went over there, they felt that the Krishna was born over here. And they communicated with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Through his meditation, he said, yes, that is the place. So that was found out. Like that, whole these two places, particularly the Brindavan and Mathura, these are two cities and very close by cities. All the holy places were identified by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his disciples. And there they marked it, where Krishna went for the grazing, where Krishna played, where he was born, and all these places identified. Why it is necessary? Otherwise, the Krishna and Radha, the philosophy that he is propagating. And what is Radha? Love. And pure love for God. And the love that never wait for any return, that is called Radha. Aradhita iti Radha. Radha's complexion is a pure white complexion. Why? Because no combination of Raja and Tama. So pure white. And this Radha, who is a lover of Krishna, and she is going in this way, behaving in this way, crying in this way, praying in this way, all the stories that was presented to the society, they could easily understand it. Why? The human love is also almost like that. So they understood it. A young lady loving another young man, so they could understand that. But when they were loving the Radha and the others were loving Krishna, Krishna's age was 12 years. He was a very young boy. Not the congenial love that we think nowadays. And the people, they will be depicting the Krishna as a young man, a muscular body, and nothing like that. He was a very small boy of 12 years. But people used to love him because of his purity. So they used to come, and this Radha, she dedicated her whole life for Krishna. And then they said, like Radha, you have to pray. Swami Vivekananda was very strong against this duality, particularly male-female and all that from the beginning. He was a Shiva. So then Sri Ramakrishna said, he used to avoid Radha. No. Radha. Sri Ramakrishna said, why you are thinking in that way? You must accept Radha not as a lady, but her love for the ideal. And complete 100% love for the ideal. That you must accept. In Bengali, he said, Tan Tane. Tan means the attention and the love that the Radha was having for Krishna, that you should take. The contribution of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in twofold. First, he protected the Hindu society by developing a new method of prayer, this, the song and dances. Then he removed, by the way, when you are doing singing and dancing, nobody asks, hey, are you a lower caste? Don't come and dance with me. So they won't. Because that they were enjoying the company of each other. By that way, they say slowly removed the differences between man, human. So that was a great contribution. Thirdly, the adverse situation, he saved them by telling them, you must be very humble. Protect yourself. If you notice, in Bengal, the temples are there. But mostly Bengalis, they don't go to temple. You know why? Because that was the problem. Usually the ladies, they go to temple. And then other people, those who are not Hindus, they will be waiting for this. They will go and touch the hand of the lady. That's all. And in our custom, they say, if you are touching the hand of a lady, it's called Pani Grahana. Pani means hand. Grahana means accepting. The moment you accept the hand, that means you are accepting the lady, she becomes your wife. Now these people used to come and touch like this, and our great society leaders, they used to tell, oh, now we cannot accept this lady, you have to. Swami Vivekananda afterwards say, look at this. They are supposed to go and cut the hand of those who touched the hand of the sister or the wife or the mothers. But they were not having that power. Chaitanya Prabhu understood that. In this moment, they cannot. They don't have leaders. So they became humble. And even they're touching, no problem. It is okay. But they stopped visiting the temples. So the Bengalis don't have visiting habit of going to temple, even today. So we have to go and call, no, nobody is around. You please come. And if you don't give food, Bengalis are not there. So you have to give a lot of food. That is also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they always introduce, and he said to his disciples, arrange good food. The people are coming and dancing, singing, enjoying, and for the food, where they will go? Give them food. That same tradition, now we are also, though we are Vedantin, but you have to give food, otherwise. So this is the way the different type of tradition comes, but we are really thankful to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If he was not there, we do not know what would have happened. The whole society would have been lost. Now he developed a philosophy called Achinta Veda Aveda Bada. What is the Achinta Veda Aveda? Ishvara, the creator, Jiva, the being, living being, and Jada. Jada means the insentient things, all are same. So Achinta, the object which we cannot think, that is Brahman. It has a Veda, that means they are different. I am different from that. And those, the stones and other, they are different from that. But at the same time, Abheda, they are not different when you see from the point of view of the reality. They are not different. So, Achinta Veda Aveda Bada of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is his philosophy. Very interesting philosophy. And he gave only one advice in 8 stanzas. Shiksha Ashtakam. Ashtam is 8. Ashtakam means in 8 stanzas, Shiksha, the teaching. The Vaishnava that called Gaudiya Vaishnava sect, that is on the basis of the Shiksha Ashtakam. It became all over very popular because of the ISKCON, International Krishna Consciousness. They accepted it and they took it. But of course, I do not know much about them, whether they follow the true philosophy of the Sri Krishna, what's called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or not, but they have taken the name of Krishna all over. The Krishna and Radha. So that is the God and Goddess. And the philosophy is Achinta Vedabhada. And the person Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we bow down to him because he protected a great society with a wonderful philosophy and the practice. Thank you, friends. Thank you for precious hearing about this great soul. May his blessings be on us. Though we are already 2 days have passed, but still I have kept these colors. If you like, then mentally you can take and offer to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma, and Shamiji. 3 different colors are there you can offer, and bring one so that I can apply them on them. Okay.
How can one realize that he or she is blessed by God?
Oh, then you will feel excellent joy within. So when a person is blessed by the God, then there is no fear, there is no demand, and there is constant contentment. And that contentment gives an extreme happiness. So, how a person can be known happy? So, when we come out talking with people, we are all good. But when I am alone in my room, I have to judge myself, not the world. Am I really happy? No. Then is the if you are happy all the time, at the inside you will feel that you are contented. There is no desire, no fear, no problem. You are blessed. Thank you.
Should we regard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a incarnation of God or a teacher?
Oh, no. He is an incarnation of God, of course.
Did he practice Vedanta or Vedanta which?
He practiced Vedanta. He was a teacher of the Vedanta, but he introduced the dualism for the benefit of the ordinary people. And as I was telling, because the socio-political situation was completely different in those days. So that is the reason he had to develop this. And by that way, he protected the Sanatana Dharma, and that is why he is considered as an avatara. The avatara means one who is protecting and channelizing the proper dharma for the benefit of the people. He did that. So he's an avatar. But you will know, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, they have preserved a seat that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used, and that is a holy seat. One day, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was visiting that particular place, and suddenly something happened to him. He went and stood on that. None of the Vaishnavas, they complained or objected. He told, he is Chaitanya. And when he used to sing, the same Sri Ramakrishna used to go and he used to sing, he used to dance with ordinary people, and thousands will be there with him. And that time, the political situation changed. The Britishers were the rulers. And they were, to some extent, they used to not to disturb the Hindu religion. That was there. But to make that people feel that we are all one, there is no higher and lower caste, Brahmins and Shudras, nothing is there. Sri Ramakrishna used to go and dance like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there are many people who say when the Sri Ramakrishna used to dance, and from his person, his body, and the aura is to come out. So the people used to come and they used to see and they used to get a lot of joy, and some used to lose their consciousness also. By they used to fall on the floor. Great joy. So he created that. He was the incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So thank you. We'll say Shanti 3 times, and then you can. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om. Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. I must thank you, and I congratulate you. Even though it is snowing now, suddenly it has started snowing, but you have come. That shows you really, really love this the philosophical talk and maybe this particular place to come over here. This young man I met yesterday and he decided to come. I was thinking you won't be able to come. This is the first time he's visiting. I'm so happy that you could make it. You have come over here. And the good news is, I don't know, is the food that will be given is something special for today's, right? Because I overheard they were planning, so I announced it. Thank you.